Russia engaged in cyber warfare. In fact, they call it information warfare. I'm Tim Black for TBTV. Russia is engaged in information warfare on American soil, and its interference in the 2016 presidential campaign is just one part of a strategy to undermine Western democracies that continues today. The chairman of the Senate Intelligence Committee said this Thursday. That's how they opened it up, guys. That's what they believe. They believe that R-N.C. leaks were orchestrated by the Russians in order to derail our democracy. They also admit that there's no way to determine if these leaks actually change the election at all. A lot of people know a lot more about the leaks now than they did before the election. Most people had no idea about the leaks, really. Like, they really did not know what the leaks were about. Until this day, most average Americans think when you say Russia hacked the election, they're thinking you mean Russia hacked into our voting booths or flipped votes on computers. They have no idea that what you're really referring to is the certain people on the internet who happen to have read WikiLeaks. They have no idea what you're talking about. All right. Unfortunately, you will learn that these efforts by Russia to discredit the United States and weaken the West are not new. These efforts are, in fact, at the heart of Russia. And previously, the Soviet Union, said Richard Burr, R-N.C., at the start of a key hearing by the Intelligence Committee. The focus of the hearing is on how the Kremlin allegedly used technology to spread disinformation to the U.S. and Europe. Vladimir Putin himself on Thursday dismissed what he called endless and groundless accusations of Russian meddling. These efforts are at the heart of Russia. Since we are not allies, I can't imagine that at the heart of the U.S. are Russian interests. So I think that's going to be a real easy case to prove that we're not on their side, they're not on our side. Same thing with China and Korea, same deal. And that we all spy, like all countries spy, but I don't think that's going to come up in these committee hearings, because this is not about what America does, because America could care less about what they do, and this person does this, or this country does this, and we did this, so they retaliated. That's not going to be a part of the conversation at all. What they want to do is they want to point blame at Russia, and in doing that, also tie Trump's administration to Russia and say, well, if it wasn't for Kremlin, wasn't for somebody hacking, that all these people would have went out and voted for Hillary Clinton. Though trust and likability were horrible for Hillary before anyone, with large segments or swaths of people. But these are facts that they don't want to talk about. They don't want to have that conversation. So Tim Black, let's get back to what they are saying so we'll know. Ranking Democratic member Mark Warner said Putin ordered a deliberate campaign to undermine the U.S. election. The Virginia senator said Russia engaged in a disinformation campaign that made effective use of its hacking skills, to steal and weaponize information and engage in a coordinated effort to damage a particular candidate and to undermine public confidence in our democratic process. Mark Warner is a tool for the establishment. He always will be. He always was. That's how I feel about Mark Warner. I'll tell you this. If letting American citizens know what American politicians are doing and what campaigns are doing and what political groups like the R-N.C. are doing, private groups are doing, is sabotage, I'd like to know what you think good journalism is. Now, I'm not saying a hacker is a journalist, but what I'm saying is, if you don't want people, if knowing the truth is sabotage, what the hell is lying? Right? Because, I'm just trying to figure this out. Mark Warner, and all of you blowhards up there on the Hill, everyone in that intelligence meeting, I want to know, and I want all my viewers to think about this. If they want to say that to reveal truth, to reveal a conversation, to reveal actual goings-on within our political structure is sabotage to that political structure. What the hell are we doing? But no one wants to answer that question. No one wants to ask that question, let alone answer that question. While Intelligence Committee hearings are rarely held in public, Burr said it was needed to ensure the American people know that our community has been a target of Russian information warfare, propaganda, and cyber campaigns. Senator Richard Burr of the R-N.C., I mentioned him earlier. Another blowhard making a lot to do about people finding out the truth. So let me get this right. We want to open up the hearings and make them public because we want the American people to have information about what's going on with the government. But you don't want, but it is a warfare. It's an act of war for us to know what's going on with our political parties. That's an act of war. Do you realize how hypocritical that is? Are you listening to yourself speak? Is it coming out of your mouth?
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
I guess you don't. You don't. All right, so that's what's going on today. Let me know what you think about these hearings, and what do you think the results of the hearings will be. A lot to do. A lot of money is being spent to find out or to convince you that Russia made Trump president, when we know for a fact on those same documents that they're complaining about, I know for a fact, and you can know too if you read them, that this was all a setup. All of it. And the reason why Trump is president, part of that reason is because the DNC coordinated with the media to prop up Trump, to give him free publicity. He had $1 billion worth of free media coverage. This was all at the behest and the collusion with the DNC, telling news entities, cover more Trump, cover more Trump. And they did, and he won, and they said, oh my God. And then they tried to slander him, and it was ineffective. That's how you have Trump. Not this guy. This guy didn't do it. It was you. Blame yourself. I'm Tim Black for TBTV. I'm looking forward to those comments. Share this video with a friend. Let's keep the knowledge and the power of information flowing to all those around us. No more misinformation, no disinformation, just truth. And of course, my commentary. I'll see you on the next one.